Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy, also known as the YouTuber with the world's loudest neighbors. They have been making a ruckus today, and I really hope they at least shut the hell up for the next 10 minutes or so I can record a few videos. But anyway, today, in case you haven't already guessed it, we're going to be talking about Rocket League, the game that I have been playing sporadically on my channel lately. I have been doing a lot of gameplays, and you guys may have noticed that I've been uploading a little more frequently. You know, I've been doing one upload every weekday and two uploads every weekend. You know, two uploads on Saturdays and Sundays. So I managed to get through the game pretty quickly on this channel. I recently finished Rumble, which was actually possibly the most fun I've had in this game. And now Rocket League is a very simple game. You know, this review probably won't be too long, won't be too detailed, because it's a very simple game, but it is also one of the most fun games I have ever played in my entire life, okay? I'm sorry if my head is a little cut off a few times. It's because I don't know how to manage that anymore. But anyway, so here's the thing. Rocket League has a very, very easy to understand design. It's basically soccer or football, to those of you who live in Europe, but instead of players, it's cars with rockets strapped to their behinds, and instead of a regular soccer ball, it is a huge metallic ball that you can tweak. You can make it big, small, you can make it a square, you can make it a beach ball, you can make it a basketball, even a hockey puck, you know? There are just so many different things that you can do with the ball in this game, you know? And I think that it is a lot of fun for a number of reasons. For one thing, it is crazy. You know, it's kind of like Demolition Derby all over the place, and I really, really love this game, you know? I got into it 2 years ago, back when I got my Xbox One, and I think that it is one of those games that is timeless, you know? It is impossible for me personally to get bored of Rocket League. I don't know, I don't even know. I can't even imagine a time before playing it, you know. I don't think I will ever get bored of it. I think I will continue to play it for the rest of my life, and I will make my children play it, you know. I don't think it will ever get a sequel, because it's the kind of game that doesn't really need a sequel, you know. They can just keep adding updates to it, as they have done since it was released. And I think that the chaotic nature of the game itself, it's a sports game mixed with kind of like an action-packed Demolition Derby style thing, you know, and it is really, really fast-paced. There is never a dull moment, you know. Even if you're an amateur or a veteran pro player, you can have a lot of fun with it, you know. Now, the games that I played through the main games. I played through the soccer, the hoops, the snow day, which is hockey. I played through drop shot, and I did some rumble, you know. Kind of like the 5 main game modes, you know, of the game. You can experiment with a lot of different things within those. You can use different mutators to make different game modes, but those are the 5 main ones that I played on this channel, you know. Now, each one has its own little thing, you know. The soccer, then hoops, which is basketball, snow day, hockey, drop shot, which is kind of like Fusion Frenzy. Then you have rumble, which is kind of like playing any game mode, but with mutators in the mix, you know. I did the beach ball variant, which is really fun, and I think that the game introduced something very new and unique to the world back in the day, you know, when it first released. I think in 2014 or 2015, you know. Nobody had ever seen this before, you know. Nobody had ever seen this formula, this format of a game, you know, where you can go around using giant metallic balls, kicking them into goals with cars, you know, flying around like rockets, you know, all over the place. It was crazy, you know, and I think that's why the game was so successful from the get-go, you know. Psyonix really had a brilliant idea, honestly, the developers of the game, and I think that it has aged very well, you know. I mean, what, 5-6 years down the line, I'm still playing it. People are still playing it, you know. If you go to online matches, you can still find people playing it very, very fervently, you know, and having a lot of fun too. I really like playing online, but sometimes it can feel a little frustrating, you know, because I'm not exactly the best player in the world, so it can feel a little mismatched sometimes, and I rage very easily when I play multiplayer, so it was a little hard for me. But at the same time, I had a lot of fun. I had a ton of fun, and I never got tired of playing the game, you know. And if you guys take a look at my playlist and see me playing through it, all the gameplays that I did, you're gonna see that I have a lot of fun with it, you know. It's like, there are a few times when I lost, but even though I lost, I still managed to enjoy myself, you know. It's one of those games that it's impossible to get bored of it, you know. It's impossible to get tired of it, and it is impossible to not have fun, at least in my honest opinion. Rocket League is the kind of game that you can play by yourself and with friends or online with complete strangers and still have a blast, you know. You can still have one hell of a time. And I have actually played with a few friends here and there, and it was a lot of fun, you know. I was a little better than them, so it was kind of mismatched, but the issue with playing with friends is that sometimes if they're too good, you know, they can gloat, or if they're not good enough, it's gonna feel a little weird. But I think I managed to get a good enough balance with my buddies that we had a lot of fun, you know. I probably said the word fun 30 times in this damn video, you know. It's just crazy. And I think that Rocket League has different layers to it. you know, it has different layers, you know, and you can grab a little boost here and there to give your car a little bit more power and hit the ball really hard. And depending on the kind of physics that you tweak, you can make it bounce really fast, really hard, or you can turn the gravity down or up and make the ball barely bounce at all, you know. You can make it be a gigantic sphere or a really small, kind of like marble, you know. And there are so many things that you can do. There is so much variety, you know, and you can trick out your cars, customize them, you know, and make them look a little different. You can give them decals and paint jobs and make them any color that you want. You can put different items in them like toppers, you know, and trails and boost little thingy trails, and you can also make your goal animations different. You know, there's so many different things you can do, and you can also buy some DLC to trick out your vehicles even more, make them look better, have a few different things here and there. Although I have never paid for anything, I've never bought anything in Rocket League. I've always got things from loot crates, I think that's what they were called, and I have a few really cool things that I got from it. I also did the Chinese New Year event, the lunar calendar thing, which was a lot of fun. Gave me some new customizable items for my cars, you know, and it's really cool. If you guys take the time to watch my gameplays, you're going to see that in every single Rocket League gameplay that I did, I used a different car of mine, you know, a different car customized differently for each video. I went to different maps, you know, did different things here and there, and it was a lot of fun. And Rocket League Online, when you're playing against other players who are just as good or better than you, can get pretty intense, you know. There are 4 different game modes when it comes to online, which is 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and 4v4. 4 versus 4 is the craziest and most chaotic and intense game mode for obvious reasons. It's 4 players against 4 other ones, and if you guys are good, it's going to be really crazy, you know. There's also this thing called unfair bots, which is it's you versus another 2 or another 3, you know, and it's pretty unfair, but it is also pretty interesting if I do say so myself. And I might come back later in the future and do more gameplays of that too. But it's really crazy because it's you against 3 other ones, and if you do it on all-star difficulty, you're gonna have a really rough time. Unless, of course, you're a god in Rocket League. You're a pro veteran player, experienced, who knows more than the actual game developers themselves. But that's a whole different story. Let me crack my neck for a second here. Hey. There we go, because I have to kind of stand like this to make my head not get cut off here anyway. So, the thing with Rocket League is that when you're playing online, going back to that, it can get very intense because I think I have raged so many times in this game, you know, not to the point of almost breaking my controller like other games make me do, but it's because sometimes you're playing, you know, and you're losing or you're tying the game and you get a chance to score the winning goal and you lose it. You miss it by a fraction of an inch. You barely hit the ball, or you hit it a little incorrectly and it doesn't go into the goal. It hits the post and goes out, or you miss completely, or another player comes and hits it out of the way, you know, and that is really frustrating because sometimes it happens in the last few seconds of a game and that goal makes a really big difference, you know. And I suffer a lot in Rocket League from this, you know. And same thing with FIFA. FIFA is a very similar game in that respect, you know, and sometimes you miss a goal that's very important and you manage to kind of screw everything up for you and your teammates, you know. And when you're playing 1v1, it's especially frustrating because it's sometimes it's the difference between winning and losing against one other player, you know. There are some Rocket League players who are really annoying. Like, instead of playing the game properly, they just go around doing stupid tricks like they fly up and juggle the ball up in the air here and there, and then they put it straight into the goal. I have no idea how they do this, you know. I have no interest in learning it because to me it makes the game more annoying, you know. You're supposed to hit the ball, kick it, let's say kick the ball with your car and try to make it go into the goal here and there. So when you start doing these Neymar-esque tricks, you know, it just, honestly, in my opinion, it just makes the game a lot more annoying. I think that using the mutators in the Rumble game mode is also a way to level out the playing field because you never know what you're gonna get. If you guys saw my video, you're gonna know what I mean. Every 10 seconds you get a new mutator. You get something new to help you out. Sometimes it's a boxing glove that helps you hit the ball really hard, or sometimes it's this thingy that makes you switch places with your opponent, or a boot that makes you kick them, or, you know, there are a whole lot of different things that you can do, you know. And sometimes you can freeze the ball to make it stand in place so you can hit it, or you get some spikes where you can glue yourself to the ball, and you know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, and I really like playing Rumble, you know. I like messing around with the mutators in Rocket League, you know. For my gameplays, I decided not to use any, you know, just a few here and there because I think it would be way too much variety if I tried to. But I may record something in the future, you know, in that aspect. But I think this review is a one-time thing. There's really not too much I can say except for the fact that I love the game, you know. I am passionately in love with it, and I picked up on it pretty quickly. I got it 2 years ago, and I think in like a month or a month and a half or two I was already pretty good, you know. And I got almost all of the achievements. I have it on Xbox One, so I have almost all of the achievements in the game. You know, it's a grind. It's a bit of a grind, but I really enjoy it a lot. I like getting achievements. I am an achievement hunter. Always have been since the days of the Xbox 360. So it's a lot of fun to do that too. And I honestly think that Rocket League is one of the best games I have ever played in my entire life, you know. I can't recall, I don't remember if I actually put it on my list of the top 10 games of all time, but you know, it's still, maybe I gave it an honorable mention, and if I didn't, I'm doing it in this video now in my review. Definitely think Rocket League is one of the best games I've ever played. It is way too much fun. It is a blast, and I will never get tired of it, you know. Even though the formula is always the same, I can't get bored of it, you know. I can play it an entire afternoon and never get bored, you know, especially if I play some good music in the background, you know. It's kind of like FIFA. No matter how many times I play, I will never get bored, you know. The formula is the same, but anything can happen in a match. You know, whether you're playing by yourself and solo against bots or online against other people, you know, you never know what's gonna happen. And that factor there, the unexpectedness, if that word exists, of it, you know, the uncertainty, you know, it really just makes me have a lot of fun, you know. It makes me really want to play it, right? And I just really love this game so much. And if you have an Xbox One or even a PS4, I think that Rocket League was free on the PSN a few weeks ago. Yeah, maybe it still is, but it's probably really cheap for the PS4. If you have an Xbox One, just get it on Xbox Game Pass. You know, it is definitely worth it. Trust me, it is one of the best games ever. And even if you're not a fan of sports, you know, because yeah, I mean, it does incorporate elements of sports. You know, you've got the soccer or the football, you've got the basketball, the hockey, you know, and then, but yeah, like, it's fun anyway, you know. Even if you don't like sports, you know, it's still a really, really awesome game, you know, because it doesn't really, it's not like you're playing FIFA or Madden or NFL or NHL or something, you know. It's really, really fun no matter what. You're not doing NBA when you're playing hoops, you know. So I think that the game is fun even if you're not a sports buff, you know. I consider myself a sports fan even though I only like football or soccer, for those of you who are in the United States, you know. I'm not gonna call it just one thing. I'm always gonna say soccer or football or soccer to appeal to my European and American audiences, you know. So yeah, I think it is just amazing, you know. And this should be pretty obvious, you know. I think it goes without saying, but I give this game a perfect 10 out of 10, you know, just like my other game review, Yakuza 0, I also gave it a 10 out of 10. And yeah, it was very easy for that game to you know, achieve that rating, that score, you know, for my review. My neighbors are really moving around over there. I wonder if they're new. They're probably moving in today. But anyway, I think that's it, guys. Let me just check my timer here. Yep, I think I've gotten a pretty good enough length on the video. I have a little like a stopwatch of sorts next to me in every video so I can see how long it's getting, okay? So yeah, I think that's it, guys. I really think that's it. You know, I don't think there's too much else I can say. You know, the game is a lot of fun. And that's it, really. I really hope you guys played. If you have, drop a comment letting me know what you thought about it. And if you still haven't played it, please do. And then drop a comment telling me what you thought about it. Alright, well, I think that's it for now, guys. That's it for now. Rocket League, one of the most perfect games ever. Until the next time then, this is Chazzy signing out for now. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. It's now that my neighbors start to make noise. I guess I got it at just the right time here.